In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how I made $26,000 from only 18 colouring books. Now, one thing I want to note really quick, and that is that I don't just have 18 books, I actually have a lot more than that. This is just one of my colouring book brands that has done pretty well over the last few years. Now, in fact, if we go over to lifetime of my account, we can see that I've earned $147,000 in royalties, and I have 4,080 books, and altogether that's because if we scroll to here, I've actually sold 74,000 books. Now let's scroll back up to the top and let's go back over to here, because there's a few things which I want to share with you. Now, first of all, we're just going to go through my stats. Now, as we can see, under this colouring book brand, I have 18 books, made $26,000, and if we take a look here, my best month ever with these colouring books was December 2021, and my lowest was actually probably over here sometime. Now, just here, we can see these sales. Now, I don't know why this has pulled up. This isn't actually anything to do with my book, as I started this brand back in January 2021. Now, I have 18 books here, but if we scroll down to the bottom, round about here, now I'm going to unblur this for a second, because this shouldn't be here. In fact, if we look at that, it says not set, and if we click on there, it actually goes to nothing. So I don't know why that's here. This shouldn't be here. So this $87 and 111 units sold shouldn't be in the stats. So with up here, if we go back to the top, if we take $87 off of these royalties just here, that is actually my results. Now, let's actually go through this. We can see just here that I did have some really good months when I first started publishing these books. Then over the last year or so, sales have gone down a little bit, but I also haven't added any more books to this brand. But nonetheless, I still think that this has done pretty well. December was pretty good with this brand as well, where I earned $1,148. Now, this $26,000 is because if we scroll down to here, I've actually sold 13,300 and something units. Now remember, we need to take that 111 units off because this one just here, which should not be there. But nonetheless, $26,000 because I sold over 13,000 units. Now, the biggest factor to me selling this amount of books and making $26,000 is because of time. Now, this didn't happen overnight. It took 2 years. So if we look just here, I started this brand actually in January 2021, not January 2020. Again, I don't know why that's happening just here. I had no books under this brand. I didn't even have this brand back in 2020. But that's one of the biggest factors that helped me make $26,000, and that's just time. It takes time to make your books, it takes time to get indexed, and it takes time to make a fair bit of money from your books. But that's one of the biggest factors that's helped me sell 13,000 books and make $26,000 with this brand. Now, you also have to understand that not every book that you create will be a winner. In fact, not every book that you create will actually sell anything. Now, under this brand, if we look just here, 2 of my books under this brand has brought in most of my royalties. And if we look just here, I've sold the most on Amazon.com, a little bit in Canada, and a little bit in the UK. Now, Amazon.com is the main marketplace that I target just because there's so much traffic and so many people searching on Amazon.com. Now, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we can take a look at my stats for these books. So this one just here, my best-selling book under this brand, is in fact my best-selling book ever. So with this book, I've actually sold 8,202 units and I've made over $16,000 just from this one book. Now, this is all organic as well. Now, I have run ads on a couple of these books in the past, not very many because these are all adult colouring books, and the majority of them have some type of profanity on the front cover. So when you have profanity on the front cover, you can't actually run ads on those books. So this top one, my best-selling book of all time, is all organic. So $16,000 with 8,000 plus books sold, again, is all organic. Same with this one just here, my second best-selling book under this brand. I sold 4,000 plus units, making over $8,000, and then the rest we can see how many I've sold. So this one I sold 300 units, making over $200, 100 units making over $100, $67 making almost $100, and we can see the rest of them just here. So out of those 18 books, only 2 of them have really popped off, and that's what's brought in most of my royalties, as we can see just here. Now, one thing to note as well is that when I first got into publishing back in 2018, I didn't create any colouring books for a good few years. So it wasn't till around January 2021 until I started creating colouring books. Now, why is that? Well, I didn't previously have the skills. So colouring books aren't a type of book that you want to get into if you have no previous experience with KDP. Now, I always say you should start with something simple like notebooks, journals, or something like that, just so you can understand the process and learn how to publish on KDP. But nonetheless, colouring books is not what I first started with when I first started publishing back in 2018. Now, something else which I want to talk about, and that's niche videos. So, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm going to say stop watching niche videos. Now, I mean stop watching videos where they say make 5,000 a month, make 10,000 a month, make 20,000 a month with this niche. Those videos aren't really going to help you. Now, you can watch them to get inspiration, but you want to learn the strategies behind finding your own niches. Because if you learn the process of actually doing the research yourself and finding niches, then you're going to find a hell of a lot more better niches than what people share here on YouTube. So learn the strategies behind finding niches instead of relying on niche videos here on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of great YouTubers here on YouTube that actually talk about KDP. One of them is Chris Raydog. I highly suggest going through and watching his videos because he has some really great content. Now, Dale Roberts as well has some really great videos, not specifically about low content, but just publishing in general. Now, if we keep scrolling through here, let me see if I can find a couple of others. RJ Martinez is a really good channel as well. Same with Rachel Harrison's son. She has some really great videos as well. But stop watching videos like this one. So it says 5 hidden gems to make $1,000 a month. Now, again, you can watch these videos to get inspiration. I still do that as well. But you want to find videos that share strategies. Case in point, like my one just here. 3 strategies to find profitable, low content book niches. Again, if you don't rely on niche videos and actually learn about niche research yourself, then you're going to find much better niches. Now, that brings me on to my next point, which is you need to constantly be developing your skills around design and niche research. Now I am going to plug my own course just here. We have a course called the LCB Vault. It's been going for a few years now. I always add brand new training in here as well, but in here is 5 courses in one, and you're going to learn everything that I know about publishing. I share finding niches, creating books. I recently shared my ad strategy as well, so I have a lot of great content in here. Now, if you want to check this out, there will be a link down in the description below. Now, something else that you should actually learn about, and that is colour theory. Now, learning about colour theory is going to help you create better designs. Now, what is colour theory? Well, colour theory is the collection of rules and guidelines which designers use to communicate with users through appealing colour schemes in visual interfaces. So this is like learning about colour combinations, learning what colours work well together. Now, all of this is going to help you in your designs, and if you start creating better designs, you're going to get more sales. Now, another thing that you should really learn about is font combinations. So learning all of this stuff can only help you in your business. Now, if you type into Google font combinations and come to here, this is a little article by Canva, and it's the ultimate guide to font pairing, and it's a really great article. Now, in fact, what I'll do is link this article down in the description below so you can come through and check it out. But learning what fonts work well together and what fonts don't work well together, again, is really going to help you in your designs for your low content books. So you really need to develop your skills around designing, but you also need to develop your skills around research. Now, with research, I'm going to get to that in a minute as well, but with learning about graphic design, again, you can just come over to YouTube and type in graphic design, because there's lots of great videos on YouTube that will really help you out. In fact, this channel just here by Satori Graphics is a really great channel, and I highly suggest coming through and subscribing, because he's going to teach you a lot of fundamentals and a lot of great tips when it comes to designing. Now, this isn't about low content books, but just designing in general, and again, the better you get at designing, the more sales that you can make. Now, I am also going to plug my own channel as well if you want to learn more about low content book publishing, because I share a lot of tips and tricks on the channel which will help you in your own business. See, look, easy way to find niches. This is what I mean when I say you want to learn the strategies behind low content book niche research, because once you understand that, you're going to find so many more niches, and that's how you're going to make more money. So if you haven't already, come through and subscribe to my channel as well, and check out the videos that we have. Now, it's all well and good learning about graphic design, learning about colour theory, learning about font combinations and just making better designs, but if you don't know the main principle for niche research, then it doesn't really matter. Now, what is that principle? Well, it's creating books around what people are actually searching for. So let me say that again. You want to be creating books around what people are actually searching for. Now, I have got a lot of niche research videos on the channel. In fact, I'll link one right there right now in the right hand corner, but this is how you can tell if the niche is actually being searched for here on Amazon. Now, for this instance, let's go with colouring book. Now, let's go a little bit niche, and we could do a monkey colouring book. Now, how do you know if people are actually searching for this here on Amazon? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If you type in your keyword or your niche or whatever just here, and nothing shows up down here, that means that no one's actually searching for that book, which means that you should not create it again because there's no one searching for it. So right here, I've typed in monkey colouring book, and if we look down here we can see monkey colouring book for adults, monkey colouring book for kids. So all of these search terms just here is here because people are actually searching for this here on Amazon. Now if no one was searching for this, again there would be no results just here. So let's think of something which people aren't really going to be searching for. Let's go with a plug socket colouring book. Now I know that's not going to be a thing, but I wanted to show you that no one's actually searching for this. So we've typed in plug socket colouring book, and if we look down here there's no results. Again, why is that? Well, because no one's actually searching for a plug socket colouring book. But again, if we change this back to monkey, we can now see the search terms that people are actually searching for. So again, you always want to be creating books around what people are actually searching for. That way you're setting yourself up to actually make sales. And if you start learning and constantly learn about designing and actually improve your designs, then you are setting yourself up again for a much better chance of making royalties. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, go hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you can be notified for any further videos. And if you want to learn more about creating colouring books and creating them with Canva, then click just here and watch this video.